Jelly Roll is opening up once again, and this time he's going deeper than ever into the most life-altering transformation of his entire journey, his health. This isn't a quick update or a neatly packaged headline meant to trend for a day. This is a raw, ongoing story about survival, discipline, and a man who came face to face with his own mortality before deciding to take his life back. The artist known for brutally honest lyrics is now applying that same honesty to his body, his habits, and his future. And the details he's sharing paint a picture far bigger than weight loss alone. This is about rebuilding from the inside out. Just a few years ago, Jelly Roll was living at over 540 pounds. Daily life felt like a constant battle against his own body. Every movement hurt. Standing too long was exhausting. Breathing felt labored. Simple tasks most people never think about required planning and recovery. Doctors were alarmed every time they reviewed his medical records. His blood work showed danger across the board: sky-high insulin, severe cholesterol problems, and testosterone levels so low they didn't match his age at all. At one point, a medical professional looked at his results and asked him how he was still alive. That moment wasn't exaggeration or drama. It was reality crashing down all at once. That question forced Jelly Roll to confront something he had avoided for years. His body was shutting down, slowly, quietly, but steadily. And if nothing changed, the outcome was inevitable. Fame couldn't save him. Money couldn't fix it. Success didn't make his heart stronger or his organs healthier. For the first time, he realized that if he kept living the same way, the story would end early, and not on his terms. What makes Jelly Roll's journey different from so many celebrity transformations is that he never framed it as a cosmetic glow-up. This was never about vanity. He wasn't chasing abs, red carpet approval, or magazine covers. He was chasing time. Time with his wife, time with his children, time to grow older instead of becoming another cautionary tale, time to create music without pain controlling every moment, and most importantly, time to break cycles that had followed him since childhood. He has been painfully honest about the role food played in his life. Food was never just food. It was comfort when he felt alone. It was coping when emotions became overwhelming. It was protection against trauma, rejection, guilt, and shame. When the world felt too heavy, food was always there. And over time, that relationship became just as destructive as any addiction he had battled in his past. He has said openly that he wasn't eating because he was hungry. He was eating because he was hurting. That realization changed everything. Jelly Roll began to approach his relationship with food the same way he approached recovery from substance abuse: with seriousness, with respect, with boundaries. He stopped pretending that willpower alone would fix it. He understood that structure mattered, patterns mattered, accountability mattered. One bad day didn't erase progress, but ignoring the pattern absolutely would. This wasn't about starving himself or punishing his body for years of damage. It was about learning how to fuel his body properly for the first time in his life. It was about understanding hunger cues, emotional triggers, and the difference between craving comfort and needing nourishment. For the first time, food became something intentional instead of automatic. His new routine didn't begin with intense workouts or dramatic before and after photos. It began with honesty. Honest conversations with doctors who didn't sugarcoat the truth. Honest admissions to himself about how bad things had gotten. Honest acceptance that motivation alone would never be enough. Motivation fades, discipline doesn't. He needed habits, he needed systems. He needed to show up even on the days when he felt tired, discouraged, or unmotivated. Movement became non-negotiable, but it started small, painfully small. Short walks, slow steps, frequent breaks. Jelly Roll has shared that there were days when walking to the mailbox felt like climbing a mountain. His body wasn't used to movement, it resisted it. But he didn't quit. He showed up the next day and the day after that. Slowly, those steps stacked into minutes. Minutes turned into distance. Distance turned into confidence. Over time, movement stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like freedom. Now his mornings often begin with running, not because it's glamorous, not because it looks impressive, but because it grounds him. Some days it's a steady jog, some days it's slow and heavy, some days it's simply proof that he still has discipline when no one is watching. Running became symbolic. It reminded him that the same body that once felt like a prison was becoming a tool to reclaiming his life. As his endurance grew, so did his routine. Strength training entered the picture, stretching became essential, cycling, recovery work, and mobility exercises became part of the process. He didn't chase extremes. He didn't punish himself. He avoided burnout by listening to his body instead of fighting it. Every workout wasn't about pushing harder, it was about showing respect for a body that had carried him through decades of damage. Nutrition followed that same balanced mindset. Jelly Rolls stopped labeling foods as good or bad. Instead, he learned balance, portion control, timing. He learned how different foods affected his energy levels, his sleep quality, his inflammation, and his mental clarity. Late-night binge eating slowly faded away. Structured meals took its place. Emotional eating didn't disappear overnight, but emotional awareness began to replace it. For the first time in his life, food stopped being the enemy. It stopped being a crutch. It became fuel. One of the most discussed parts of his transformation is what he chose not to do. Jelly Roll has been clear that he didn't rely on quick fixes or weight loss injections, not because he looks down on anyone else's path, but because he knows himself. He knows that without deep behavioral change, the weight would return, and with it, the pain, the habits, and the self-destruction. For him, sustainability mattered more than speed.
As the weight came off, something unexpected happened. The emotional armor he had worn for decades began to crack. Jelly Roll has admitted that losing weight forced him to confront insecurities he had long hidden behind size, humor, and success. His body had been part of his identity for so long that changing it meant redefining who he was without it. That process wasn't easy. Fame didn't protect him from self-doubt. In many ways, it made him feel more exposed. As he became physically smaller, he felt emotionally more visible. But instead of retreating, he leaned into vulnerability. He spoke openly about fear, about self-image, about the pressure that comes with change. And in doing so, he gave countless others permission to be honest about their own struggles. Public reaction has been overwhelmingly supportive. Fans who have followed him from the beginning say this chapter of his life is the most inspiring yet. People struggling with obesity, addiction, and mental health have said that seeing someone speak honestly about the process, not just the end result, made them feel seen. Jelly Roll didn't sell perfection. He sold effort. He sold resilience. And that message landed. At home, the transformation changed everything. Jelly Roll has spoken emotionally about what it means to truly be present for his family. Simple moments, walking without pain, playing without getting winded, coaching his son's basketball team, are now milestones. Things he once believed he would never experience are now part of his everyday life. His wife has remained a constant source of encouragement and accountability. Jelly Roll credits her with pushing him forward while reminding him why the journey mattered. He has said that every pound lost felt like a step closer to becoming the husband and father he always wanted to be, not just in words, but in action. Even with more than 275 pounds gone, Jelly Roll is clear that the journey isn't finished. He has talked openly about the possibility of excess skin surgery in the future, but he doesn't rush that decision. Right now, the focus is strength, longevity, and mental clarity. He no longer measures success by a number on the scale. He measures it by how his body feels when he wakes up, how long he can perform without exhaustion, and how fully present he is in his daily life. There are still hard days. He doesn't hide that. There are plateaus, moments of frustration, emotional triggers that resurface when least expected. But the difference now is that he doesn't quit. He doesn't spiral. He resets, recommits, and keeps moving forward. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It took years, years of discomfort, years of discipline, years of choosing long-term health over short-term comfort. And standing here now, healthier and more alive than ever, Jelly Roll represents something powerful, a reminder that change is possible, even when the odds feel impossible. This isn't just a celebrity weight loss story. It's a story about reclaiming life, about breaking generational cycles, about choosing yourself even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels too late. Jelly Roll didn't just lose weight, he gained years, clarity, purpose, and a future that once felt completely out of reach. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.